My dear brothers and sisters, sometimes you reach a point in life where everything feels heavy. You wake up tired, not just in your body, but deep inside your heart. You keep going because you must, not because you feel strong. You don't explain your pain to people. You don't complain much. You just carry it quietly and hope things will get better. And there are moments when you sit alone and think, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this. If this sounds familiar, then listen carefully. This reminder is for the person who is still trying, even though they feel very close to giving up. When the heart feels tired, there are times in life when the heart becomes tired before the body ever does, and the person continues with their daily routine while carrying a quiet weight that no one else can see. You may still go to work, speak kindly to people, and fulfill your responsibilities, yet inside you feel drained and unsure of how much strength you have left to give. Many people think that being patient means never feeling tired, but that is not true at all. Patience does not mean you stop feeling pain or disappointment. It means you keep going even when things are difficult and confusing. When the heart feels heavy, it does not mean you have lost faith. And it certainly does not mean Allah is unhappy with you. It simply means you have been carrying more than others realize. Sometimes the hardest part is that you do not know how to explain what you are feeling. You may try to put it into words, but nothing sounds right, so you stay quiet and tell yourself to be strong. Yet Allah knows what is in your heart even when you cannot express it. And He understands every silent struggle you face. When a person reaches this stage, they do not need loud advice or long lectures. They need reassurance. They need to be reminded that their effort matters, that their patience is seen, and that their story is not finished yet. And this is exactly where Allah's mercy begins to work in ways we may not notice immediately. When nothing seems to change, one of the most difficult tests a person faces is not pain itself, but the feeling that nothing is changing no matter how much effort they put in. Days pass, weeks go by, and you still find yourself standing in the same place, facing the same worries, asking the same questions in your heart. You pray, you try, you stay patient, yet the situation looks exactly the same as before, and this is where hope begins to feel fragile. At this stage, many people quietly blame themselves. They start thinking that maybe they are doing something wrong, or that they are not good enough, or that their prayers are not being heard. These thoughts slowly drain the heart, even though they are not true. Just because you cannot see progress does not mean Allah is not working. Some changes happen in ways that are hidden, and some answers come only after the heart has grown stronger and wiser. It is important to understand that Allah does not measure your sincerity by how quickly things improve. He looks at the effort you make when things are difficult, at the patience you show when you feel disappointed, and at the trust you try to hold on to even when your heart feels tired. Every moment you continue without giving up is valuable, even if the results are not visible yet. Many people think relief always comes by removing the problem, but sometimes relief comes by giving you the strength to carry it without breaking. Sometimes Allah changes your heart before He changes your situation, because a stronger heart is needed for what is coming next. What feels like delay may actually be preparation, and what feels like silence may be guidance in a form you do not yet recognize. If you are in a phase where nothing seems to move forward, remind yourself that growth does not always feel good. Seeds grow quietly under the ground before anything appears on the surface. And in the same way, Allah may be building something inside you that will soon make sense. Your patience in this moment is not wasted, and your struggle is not ignored, even if it feels long and exhausting. When help comes in a way you did not expect, many people wait for help to arrive in a very specific form, believing that relief will only come when the situation changes exactly as they imagine. You may be hoping for a problem to disappear, for someone to finally understand you, for answers to become clear, or for life to feel easier without so much effort. When these things do not happen, the heart quietly grows tired and confusion begins to settle in. Allah often works in ways that are not immediately obvious. Instead of removing the difficulty, He may place calm inside your heart. Instead of changing the people around you, He may reduce the power their words have over you. Instead of opening the door you were focused on, He may be protecting you from walking through it too soon. This is where patience becomes difficult, because the heart wants visible signs and quick results. Yet Allah sees what you cannot see, and He understands what you do not yet understand. Silence does not mean neglect, and delay does not mean denial. Very often, it means that something is being arranged with care and wisdom. At times, Allah allows a person to feel weak, so they learn reliance and humility, not to harm them, but to shape them gently. A heart that has faced difficulty learns balance, compassion, and strength in a deeper way. Comfort may make life easier, but hardship often makes the heart wiser and more grounded. Many people later look back and realize that the phases they once questioned were actually protecting them or guiding them away from harm. In the moment, those phases felt heavy and confusing, but with time, their purpose became clearer. In the same way, what you are going through now may not make sense yet, but it is not without meaning, even if the reason is still hidden. Why you are still holding on? If you are honest with yourself, you may wonder why you are still holding on when so many reasons tell you to stop. You may feel tired, disappointed, and unsure about the future, yet something inside you refuses to let go completely. That quiet strength is not accidental, and it is not coming from nowhere. It is something Allah places inside the heart of a person He has not finished with yet. Many people think strength means feeling confident all the time, but real strength often appears when a person continues even while feeling unsure and exhausted. You may feel weak, but you are still waking up each day and trying again. You may feel lost, but you are still searching for meaning. You may feel close to giving up, but you are still listening, still hoping, still trusting in a small but sincere way. Allah does not keep a person attached to hope without reason. If there was nothing ahead for you, that desire to continue would not still exist in your heart. The fact that you are still trying, even quietly, even imperfectly, is a sign that your journey is still unfolding. Sometimes Allah keeps a person moving forward not by removing their pain, but by giving them just enough strength to take the next step. It is also important to understand that holding on does not mean you are failing to trust. It means you are learning how to trust while feeling uncertain. Trust is not always calm and confident. Sometimes it is shaky and tired, yet sincere, and Allah values that sincerity more than perfect words or strong appearances. When you feel like you are only surviving and not progressing, remember that survival itself can be a form of progress. There are seasons in life where simply staying upright, protecting your heart, and not giving up completely is exactly what Allah wants from you. Growth does not always look like success. Sometimes it looks like endurance. You may not see the full picture yet, but Allah sees where this road leads. The strength you feel today may be small, but it is enough for now. And when the time is right, Allah will replace this tired strength with clarity, peace, and relief in a way that makes sense of everything you went through. The heavy weight that no one sees. One of the hardest parts of life is waiting while carrying pain that no one else truly understands. From the outside, people may think you are doing fine, that you are coping well, or that time has healed you. But inside, you know how heavy the waiting feels. You are not just waiting for things to change. You are waiting for relief, for clarity, for a sense of peace that feels distant. Waiting tests the heart in a unique way. It forces you to sit with questions that have no immediate answers. It makes you face uncertainty day after day. You may try to distract yourself, stay busy, or remain positive, but at quiet moments the same thoughts return. You wonder how long this phase will last and whether things will ever feel lighter again. Allah knows that waiting is difficult, which is why He never asks a person to wait without purpose. Every pause in life carries meaning, even when that meaning is not clear at first. During these waiting periods, Allah often works on the heart more than on the situation. He reshapes priorities, strengthens inner character, and teaches lessons that could not be learned during ease. Many people believe that progress only happens when visible change occurs. But that is not always true. Some of the most important growth happens quietly, when a person learns patience, self-control, and trust under pressure. You may not see the reward yet, but every moment you endure with honesty and effort is building something valuable within you. The waiting also reveals how deeply a person relies on Allah. When solutions are out of reach and answers are delayed, the heart is pushed to turn inward and upward. This is not meant to break you, but to bring you closer to a source of strength that does not depend on circumstances. In these moments, even small acts of trust matter more than grand displays of faith. It is natural to feel tired during long periods of waiting, and feeling tired does not mean you are failing, it means you are human. Allah does not expect perfection. He understands exhaustion, frustration, and doubt. What matters is that you continue to turn back even when your energy is low and your heart feels heavy. Sometimes Allah delays relief not because you are being ignored, but because something important still needs to settle within you. Perhaps you are being protected from a path that looks attractive but carries harm. Perhaps you are being prepared for a responsibility you are not ready to carry yet. Or perhaps the timing itself is part of the mercy. One day, when this waiting period ends, you will look back and realize that it shaped you in ways you did not notice at the time. The patience you struggled to maintain, the strength you thought you did not have, and the quiet trust you held onto will all come together and make sense. Until then, Allah remains aware of every step you take and every burden you carry. When hope begins to feel real again, after a long period of waiting and uncertainty, there often comes a quiet shift inside the heart. Nothing outside may change immediately, yet something within begins to soften. The weight does not disappear all at once, but it feels a little lighter than before. You may notice that you are breathing easier, thinking more clearly, or feeling a small sense of calm that was missing for a long time. This is usually how hope returns. Not suddenly or loudly, but gently. Allah does not overwhelm a tired heart with sudden change. He eases it forward step by step. He gives you small signs of reassurance, moments of clarity, or brief feelings of peace to remind you that you are not alone and that your story is still moving forward. Hope also grows when you begin to understand that your worth is not measured by how quickly your problems disappear. It is measured by your effort, your sincerity, and your willingness to keep trusting even when the path feels unclear. When you stop judging yourself harshly for feeling tired, you allow space for healing to begin. At this stage, many people realize that they are stronger than they thought, not because they feel powerful, but because they have survived what once felt unbearable. The pain that nearly broke you has also taught you resilience, awareness, and patience. You may not feel fully healed yet, but you are no longer standing in the same place you were before. Allah often allows hope to return before relief arrives, because the heart needs to be ready to receive what is coming next. A heart filled only with fear would struggle to recognize blessings, but a heart that has regained hope is prepared to move forward with trust. Even if you cannot see the full picture yet, this quiet sense of hope is a sign that change is possible. If you are starting to feel even a small spark of hope, hold on to it gently. Do not rush it or question it. Let it grow naturally. That small feeling is not false or meaningless. It is a reminder that Allah has not left you in this struggle. It is proof that your patience is bearing fruit and that better days in some form are ahead. You were never walking alone. If you pause for a moment and honestly reflect on everything you have been through, you may realize that the most surprising part of your story is not the pain itself, but the fact that you are still here. There were moments when the weight felt too heavy to carry, when your heart felt stretched beyond its limit, and when the future looked so unclear that you wondered if continuing even made sense. Yet despite all of that, you did not completely let go. Something within you kept moving, even if it was slow and uncertain. That quiet strength did not come from nowhere. It was not luck and it was not coincidence. It was support placed gently in your heart even when you were not aware of it. Many people imagine that support from Allah should feel obvious and comforting all the time, but often it comes in quieter ways. It comes as the ability to get up one more day, to keep trying when motivation is gone, and to hold on even when hope feels thin. There were nights when your thoughts would not leave you alone, when worries repeated themselves in your mind, and when sleep felt distant. You may have felt misunderstood, alone, or emotionally drained, even while surrounded by people. In those moments, you may have questioned your strength, your patience, or even your direction in life. Yet every single one of those moments was known, seen, and understood. Allah does not measure a person by how calm they appear on the outside. He knows the inner battles that no one else witnesses. He knows the effort it takes to stay kind when you feel hurt, to remain patient when you feel frustrated, and to keep believing when answers feel delayed. None of that effort disappears. None of it is ignored. Even the strength it took you to simply endure mattered. There is a common misunderstanding that closeness to Allah should remove all hardship, but often closeness is built through hardship. When life becomes difficult, distractions fall away, and the heart becomes more aware of what truly matters. Pain has a way of stripping life down to its essentials. And in doing so, it can quietly bring a person closer to truth, sincerity, and humility. Your struggles did not make you weaker. They shaped you in ways you may not yet fully see. They taught you compassion for others, awareness of yourself, and a deeper understanding of patience. A heart that has been tested often becomes more gentle, more thoughtful, and more connected to what is meaningful. These qualities do not come easily, and they are not developed in comfort. There were times when you may have felt disappointed in yourself for feeling tired or doubtful, but feeling tired does not mean your faith was weak. It means you were carrying a heavy load for a long time. Allah does not expect you to be unshaken. He understands exhaustion, confusion, and emotional struggle. What matters is that you continued to turn back, even when your energy was low and your heart felt worn. Sometimes the most powerful form of trust is not confident or loud. Sometimes it is quiet and fragile, yet sincere. It is choosing not to give up completely, even when you do not know how things will improve. It is taking the next step without clarity, simply because stopping feels worse. That kind of trust is deeply valued. You may have wondered why certain doors remained closed despite your effort, or why certain situations lasted longer than you felt you could handle. At the time, it may have felt like rejection or neglect, but very often, closed doors are protection and delays are forms of care. There are paths that look appealing but carry harm, and there are moments when the heart needs more preparation before receiving what it asks for. Allah's timing is not meant to frustrate you, it is meant to protect you. He sees the outcomes of choices you cannot yet imagine. He knows what would overwhelm you and what would strengthen you. Sometimes what feels like a setback is actually guidance away from something that would have caused more pain later. As you continue forward, remember that you are not required to have everything figured out. Life is not a test of having perfect answers, but a journey of learning how to trust while moving through uncertainty. Allah does not ask you to carry tomorrow's worries today. He asks you to take care of what is in front of you, one step at a time. There will be days when your strength feels steady and days when it feels fragile. Both are part of being human. Neither disqualifies you from care, mercy, or guidance. Even on days when you feel like you are only surviving, that survival itself can be meaningful progress. Some seasons of life are not about growth that can be seen, but about endurance that preserves the heart. If you ever feel like you are falling behind in life, remember that journeys are not meant to look the same for everyone. Your pace is your pace. The path you walk is uniquely yours, shaped by lessons you needed to learn and strengths you needed to develop. Comparing your progress to others only adds unnecessary weight to a heart that is already carrying enough. The fact that this message reached you when it did is not meaningless. Perhaps you needed reassurance more than instruction. Perhaps you needed comfort more than answers. Sometimes what the heart needs most is not a solution, but the reminder that it is not alone and that its effort matters. As you move forward, hold on to hope gently. Do not demand certainty from yourself. Allow your heart to heal at its own pace. Trust that Allah is guiding you even when the path feels unclear. There is wisdom unfolding in your life, even if you cannot see it fully yet. Your story is still being written. The chapter you are in now may be difficult, but it is not the final chapter. There is still room for relief, understanding, and peace. There are still moments ahead that will make sense of the patience you showed and the strength you did not know you had. If you are listening to this while feeling close to giving up, let this be your reminder to pause, breathe, and continue gently. You do not need to rush. You do not need to have everything resolved. You only need to keep going with sincerity, one step at a time. Allah has not left you, and He never will. He is aware of your effort, close to your heart, and present in your journey, even when you cannot feel it clearly. Hold on to that truth, especially on the days when everything else feels uncertain. Life moves quickly, problems demand attention, and worries often rush the heart. But right now, allow yourself a short moment of stillness. You have listened this far because something inside you needed reassurance, and it is important to honor that feeling instead of ignoring it. You may not have all the answers yet, and that is okay. You may still be facing the same situation when this video ends, and that does not mean this reminder failed. Sometimes the greatest change does not happen around us immediately, but within us. A calmer heart, a steadier mind, and a softer perspective can make a heavy situation feel more manageable. Remember that struggling does not mean you are falling behind. It means you are moving through a difficult chapter with effort and sincerity. Every day you continue, even quietly and imperfectly, is a form of strength. Every time you choose patience over despair, you are doing something meaningful, even if no one else notices it. There will be moments after this reminder when doubts return, when worries resurface, and when the weight feels heavy again. That is normal. Healing is not a straight line, and peace does not arrive all at once. When those moments come, remind yourself of this truth. You are not alone in what you are carrying, and you never were. Allah remains aware of your journey in ways that go beyond what you can see or understand. He knows the effort you put in when no one is watching, the patience you show when you feel tired, and the faith you hold on to even when it feels fragile. Nothing you go through is random, and nothing you endure is wasted. If this reminder brought even a small sense of comfort, protect that feeling. Carry it with you gently. Let it guide how you speak to yourself, how you treat your heart, and how you face the days ahead. Be kind to yourself during this season. You are doing the best you can with what you have. And if you know someone who appears strong on the outside but is quietly struggling on the inside, consider sharing this message with them. Sometimes a few gentle words reach a heart at the exact moment it needs reassurance. You may never know how much comfort you pass on, but kindness always leaves an impact. As you move forward, take life one step at a time. You do not need to rush your healing or pressure yourself to feel better instantly. Trust that clarity will come when it is meant to. Relief will arrive in the right form, and peace will settle into your heart gradually. May your worries become lighter, your heart become steadier, and your path forward become clearer with time. Hold on to hope gently. Stay patient with yourself, and remember that this chapter, no matter how heavy it feels, is not the end of your story. You are still being guided, you are still cared for, and better days in some form are ahead. Oh Allah, you know the weight that sits in our hearts, the worries we carry quietly, and the struggles we never speak about. For every heart that feels tired, give strength. For every soul that feels lost, give direction. For every tear that fell in silence, give comfort. Oh Allah, help us hold on when life feels heavy. Give us patience when answers are delayed, and trust when the road ahead is unclear. Replace our fear with calm, our confusion with clarity, and our pain with peace in the time you know is best. Oh Allah, do not leave us to ourselves, even for a moment. Guide us gently, protect our hearts, and lead us toward what is good for us, even when we do not understand it yet. Ameen.